Good day. Day number 381 of self-isolation. I don't even know what the actual number is, by the way. I feel like we're hovering around, what is it, six weeks or something like that? Whew. Yeah. Anyway, a few weeks ago started interviewing people and bringing friends on to host Instagram Lives, and it's been an amazing run so far. And I've decided to wind down and kind of close it all off on Tuesday with a guest that I'm very excited for. As much as I can say right now. But today, right now, I'm going to be talking with a guy that I don't know how we ended up finding each other. I guess it was through my Instagram Live with Anthony Daniels, C-3po, of course. And Chris Bartlett has actually worn the C-3po suit before. He has played a droid on a number of occasions. You can see him in The Mandalorian on a few episodes. I think episodes 1, 3, 6, and 7, I believe. So let's bring him on live. And any questions you have for Chris, there's a little question box. You can type your questions, and we'll get to as many as we can. All right, Chris.
Hey, Tam.
Hey, good, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for doing this.
I see. Is that a leg of C-3po in the background right there?
Oh yes, that's let's see. This is the Sideshow Collectibles Legendary Scale C-3po. He's
wow.
Huge. Yeah, that was I did a little work with them, and that was a gift from them. This is amazing. Yeah, no, he's really cool.
Dude, so let's rewind a bit here. How did it start for you? Like, where did you go? Because I saw, like, on your IMDb, you have a few, like, graphic designer credits. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's my day job. My day job is
okay.
I'm a director on Call of Duty, an art director. Not the art director, but I'm one of the art directors on Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. And so my regular job is in games as an artist. And so that's where those credits come from, because I worked on all the Gears of War games from the beginning.
Dude, nice.
The new Tomb Raider games, and now Call of Duty.
Okay, so then at what point did you start, putting on awesome Star Wars droid suits and go down that path? Like, I feel like those are two very different things.
Yeah, I was just doing that for fun. I was building costumes and of my own, trying to make them as screen accurate as possible, and was, back then we just called it costuming, but, the kids call it cosplay. So anyway, it's, we just used to do events or go to conventions and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay, cool. And then, so we have now officially, so what came first? I guess your work, somehow got brought into putting on the C-3po suit. How did that come to be? Because we've seen you on a few different occasions.
Yeah, I built the one that we use on TV, and
wow.
And so I had done that, like I said, for my own personal project. But as I neared completion, Lucasfilm and I partnered, and they brought me in to finish building the C-3po costume at Lucasfilm, which is a total dream come true for a costumer who's doing this for fun. It was, you dream about while you're doing the stuff like, hey, I hope this turns out well. And then wouldn't it be cool if, Lucasfilm saw it and thought it was, good. And then the ultimate dream is if they were to use it in some way. And that's actually what happened. I just never believed that would ever happen, but I dreamed of it.
Dude, that's incredible. That is absolutely amazing. So you started as a passion, and then it turned it into a gig, because now you've gone on and you've actually got a few credits in The Mandalorian. So did that kind of build into that?
Exactly. So this is my 14th year as Anthony Daniels' backup as C-3po. And so I do all the TV work, and he does, the films, obviously. And how grateful and how happy I am as a fan that we still get to see Anthony Daniels, on the big screen in the films. And so he and I have worked on several projects where he may provide the voice and I would do the body, or like in the Lego Masters show that aired recently, I was approved to do the voice and the body.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been mastering the C-3PO voice as well. Can you give us a little bit of that, a little taste?
Oh, well, if you're talking to C-3PO, he might say, my goodness, why, said hello, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
What? Dude, that's amazing. That's really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was, once I did the first event, this was about the time that Grant Imahara from Mythbusters left Lucasfilm, and he has stated in interviews that he was the backup before that, and for C-3PO. And I just happened to finish my costume. I didn't know any of this. Finished my costume about the time that he left, and they were in need of a backup C-3PO, and the timing was right, and I was prepared, and so it worked out really well. I'm so happy it did.
What an amazing story. It's like literally like dream big, because you never know what can come of it.
Right.
And so the physicality then of the droid, like, do they put you in like a boot camp, or is that self-taught as well? Like, do you just kind of...
That's a great question. Getting comfortable with the suit was just something I did, as costumers do, fan costumers do, going to conventions and stuff like that. But the actual animation of C-3PO was something I worked on directly with Anthony Daniels. And so he taught, the isolation of the body parts, like this, and everything is separate. And then, there are certain motions that he does that are really characteristic to him, and some things that the suit kind of informs the way that you can move, but also you've seen at conventions or whatever, people who are just in the costume because they're having fun, and they made the costume, and it's just fun to walk around in it. And then they're what I learned with Anthony was actually how to make the appearance of the character to seem as seamless as possible with the real thing. And so, I mean, again, just such a dream come true from just building costumes,
Dude, I'm going to take a page from your book. I think I'm going to start I'm going to go get like a Spider-Man suit, and I'm going to wear it every single day. Yeah. And then eventually Marvel's going to come calling or something. Like, come on, you got to manifest it, right?
That's right. Exactly. That was it. Like I said, I was dreaming it. People say, did you ever think that you could do this? And like, in the most gentle way possible, yes, that's all I did was imagine that this is what I would do. But I didn't know that it would happen, but I just kept thinking about it, and that's what I focused on. And everything that I did was, I worked on the voice about 80 minutes a day for about 2 months as I was leading up to finishing the costume. And the way I did that was I just played the DVDs in my car and loop it over and over and over in my commute. And at first, of course, it sounded terrible, but then when I met with Anthony Daniels for the first time, he said, so let's hear the voice. And that was so, I got all tense and nervous and stuff, but, I did it. And I said, hello, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations. This signal is not used by the Alliance. It could be an Imperial code. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, so then,
dude, wow.
So he said, oh, that's very good. Let's slow it down a little bit. And anyway, so it was just a real, so he and I have had about 3 training sessions over the years in addition to working in person together.
So when the call came for the Mandalorian, how did that work out? Because I feel like you've already kind of, you've got your in with like Lucasfilm and all that. So they just kind of pick up the phone and say, hey, we need someone to come and kick ass as a droid, and they just bring you in. Is that how that works?
It wasn't the same people.
No?
It was because they're a totally different production crew and everything.
Okay.
Than the folks that I work with at Lucasfilm. And it was that someone there knew about my work and said, hey, we want you to come in. And in fact, it was Tim Martin, he is a filmmaker. He did Birth of a Monster, which is a Star Wars fan film, really great film. And so he was working on the film or on the show. He called me and said, or recommended to the crew there, Legacy Effects, that I come in for a screen test and a fitting, and that was for Zero. And when I saw the concept art, you know, it was, oh my God, a droid bounty hunter. This is so cool. And anyway, so then I did a screen test, and you know, as an actor, you have to bring ideas to the character. You can't wait for them to tell you what this is going to be like. So I just had some ideas. You know, he kind of looks like a bug. He's a droid. He's a bounty hunter. Is he like C-3po mixed with Boba Fett and a bug? I don't know. That's how I ended up playing it, and that worked.
Dude, yeah, I guess people, yeah, if they've watched Mandalorian, you've appeared a few times. So I know that was, I think, episode 7 where Zero comes in. But then you also played a like bounty hunter earlier on, which was some version of, was that the same character then? Was that Zero, I guess?
It was the same costume.
Okay.
We'll wait to see if that was
connected,
be the same, right, or if it was just a different one. But yeah, it was the same. So I got, you know, Tanner, I got to have, you know, a real Star Wars shootout in the streets of the Mandalorian, you know, and I'm you know, it was just like you're 7 years old playing with, you know, cardboard weapons and stuff in your neighborhood.
Wow.
That led to the ferryman who appears in episode 1 out on the ice, the guy with the snoot. Mm-hmm. And he, you know, calls the speeders over. But how that worked was I had done the test fitting and the screen test for Zero, and I didn't hear anything. And then I got an email or a phone call from the girl who said, "Hey, we'd like to bring you in for the ferryman." And I was like, "Oh, the ferryman. Is this is the same production?" Yeah. Okay. And I'm picturing, like, you know, a hooved, you know, furry-legged, shirtless guy, you know, in a forest. And she said, "No, that this is yeah, it's the ferryman." And I was like, "What does he do? Can you tell me something about him?" "Oh, he plays a flute." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a ferryman in the forest. I'm some kind of creature, you know, maybe living with the Ewoks or something." And then I got the email and learned it's the ferryman. You know, like in mythology, the character that brings the dead across the river to the afterlife. And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great." And then when I got to see him, that he looked like a cousin of the spy in A New Hope, you know, the Kubaz character.
Right.
So cool.
It's got to be cool too, being a huge fan, because, you know, the Mandalorian really, for me, really kind of throws back to like the OG Star Wars universe. There's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar characters, and the sets, everything really kind of throws back to like classic Star Wars. So that must be even more, you know, iconic for you to step onto that.
Onto real sets with real ships and real environments and all the lighting, and you can see all the environment all around you. It's so real, especially when Zero gets to pilot the Razor Crest. Yeah. And you're you know, exploding into hyperspace, and all the stars, you know, stretch around you like this. It's so realistic. I'm seeing all of it. It wasn't you know, added after.
Unreal. So when before I move on to some fan questions, so on set, two questions that I've always wanted to know. So Pedro Pascal, of course, you know, the Mandalorian. Is he in the suit most of the time, or is he just the voice at some point? Because I feel like we don't really. He can be. It doesn't really matter. Like, we don't see his face anyway. Is he in there?
You know,
you can't say.
If you've ever done any magic tricks, you know. Yeah. You know, people want to know how it works.
Okay, let's not.
They don't really want to know.
Okay.
I will tell you, I worked directly with Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
We met.
Good to know. And secondly, what I want to know, like, what Baby Yoda feels like. Did you get a chance to like touch Baby Yoda personally?
Droids don't touch the child.
Okay.
Okay. You know, droids, you know, don't have a soft, you know, gentle touch with those very, very important characters. But, you know, as you know, Zero did have a very unfortunate interaction with the child. Yeah, we ran around the ship. We played hide and seek. It was a great time.
We had a question back here. Where did it go from? Was it the 22nd Legion? Yeah, 22nd Legion Bricks. How did you feel when you had to hold a gun to Baby Yoda?
I mean, it's just part of the job. I mean, you feel awesome because you're a droid in Star Wars, and you're holding a weapon that looks like Boba Fett's, and it was really cool. And I knew what was happening, you know, what the scene was. So yeah, you know, how did it feel? I don't know. My son still can't get his friends at school to believe that I tried to tried to kill, the child.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions for Chris, let them know in the question box at the bottom. We can get to your questions. I saw another one here. Kelsey wanted to know when it comes to the C-3PO costume, what materials is it made of? Like, it looks metallic, but I feel like that would be impractical. So what is it actually made out of?
Right. The only metal on the suit would be the eye grills. In fact, I'll show you here at the end. But
Okay.
The rest of it is fiberglass and some plastic, like stormtrooper armor. The shorts, C-3PO's, his shorts, right? Those would be plastic. The feet are rubber, and what else? The hands sometimes are rubber, sometimes they're resin. But yeah, most of it's fiberglass.
Very cool. Cool.
Yeah.
And we have one more question come in here. Okay. That's a good one. When someone says Baby Yoda and it's the child, how do you feel?
He was always referred to as the child.
Okay.
Or the baby, or him. Nobody on set ever called him Baby Yoda. That was after the show came out and fans started calling that, which, it could be confusing because, at this point, 5 years after Return of the Jedi and after Yoda's death, this would not be Baby Yoda or Yoda's baby. I don't know. It can be confusing, to storyline, but I get it. I know who they mean when they say Baby Yoda. He is the biggest star in the galaxy. Right?
And can we? Do you know anything about season 2 at this point? Were you involved in any way? Is anything you can, disclose with us, or radio silence? What's the deal?
About season 2? Well, it airs in the fall.
Okay.
And, it will involve the Mandalorian.
Okay.
The child looks like he will continue on based on what we saw. There's lots of villains and good guys.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know if you're
there's a code. I don't know. There's a code. There's a creed.
Okay.
And, the Razor Crest, I think, survives. So.
There's been stories lately. There's been headlines. A certain bounty hunter could be appearing in season 2. Rumors that the original, was it the Clone Wars actor will be returning as Boba Fett. Do you know anything about that? Anything you can?
I've read those articles. Yeah.
You have read? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But knowing any details, confirmation, I don't know that.
So when you see a script for an episode, like how much of it do you actually get? Because I feel like with any show like this, it's pretty secretive. Like, are you just given the direct scenes you're involved with, or do you really get everything, or how much do you actually see going into it?
The scene that I do,
okay,
I get on the day when I arrive.
Interesting.
So what's great is when I'm watching the show, I do see, I watch it, I see most of it as a fan. There's my parts, but I don't know where all this is going, what the storylines are. You just see what your scene is. So that's a good question. But I am glad of that. I'm glad I don't know all the story, when I go to watch it.
Cool. And we have one more fan question before we wrap up with something else from right here with it's Brian with an I. Can you talk about the getting the Q9 mindset, your initial reactions to seeing concept drawings to actually, putting on the suit?
Yeah. Hey, Brian. Good to see you. After I did the first screen test, I talked with Details, who was a good friend of mine. He's a creature actor in the sequel movies, in all 3 of them. And we looked at we talked about the character, and he does look kind of like a mantis, praying mantis. So I went and watched a bunch of videos on praying mantis just to see like what do they move like, Dee recommended kind of a bug kind of a thing. And so praying mantises really have a very specific way that they move, and it's very robotic. Like, I mean, their bodies may move and their head stays, you know, the same thing, or, you know, they're super creepy, and it was perfect for Zero. So I watched all these videos, Praying Mantis, and then just took that to set. And, you know, there's lots of stuff that we shot that you'll probably see during the Disney Gallery series. Cool. on about the making of the Mandalorian. So you know, you may see some of it there, but yeah, I just tried to make him like a bug, you know, a dangerous child killing bug.
And Regs at the bottom said, "Hey, your role in the Mandalorian is amazing. Much love." I think for everyone here, yeah, you do some amazing work, man. So
thanks.
So thank you for it. It's just so cool to know too that, you know, the background and the origins of this story, that it's such a full circle amazing moment, and I'm so happy for you to see it all come true.
Thanks, Tanner. Thank you. Yeah, there's another character in episode 6, the Cantina droid. He's the RA7, or fans might recognize his brand of droid from A New Hope, the Death Star droid.
Yeah.
And so that I played him as well, and did all my own stunts, and that was a really exciting day, because it's another shootout in Star Wars, and we had quite an exciting, explosive day that we shot over and over and over, and it was from all different angles. It was so cool. Also, Gina Carano had to try and not step on me as I fell right in front of her. And as she has this scene, if you go back and watch, I think it's episode 8. She's leaning there, you know, in the cantina after it's been all shot up, and you can see my legs right next to her, and she's just sort of trying not to, you know, crush me.
Dude, that's amazing. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, Chris. But before we wrap up, I've been doing this with everyone we've had on lately. A little at-home show and tell.
Okay.
Do you have an item you could show the class? What do you got?
I do have an item. This is the head that we use on TV.
Wow.
And so I can take it apart and show you what it looks like inside.
Wow.
You know, as a performer, as a creature performer, you have a lot of situations where you're putting on a mask that is not very easy to see out of. Can you see there?
Yeah, no, that's literally just like two tiny little. That's all you can see through. Just
see the black holes there in the middle of the eyes. That's what it looks like, and I've got a battery, rechargeable battery in there. But yeah, that's it. So okay, here we go. This is what it's like to be C-3PO.
Wow.
When you see, you can't look. You know, I learned this from my wife, who's a creature performer as well. You can't focus on the inside when you put this on. You have to look through the holes and see out into the world and see people's reaction to your character. And that's what I focus on when I'm, you know, in the suit, because otherwise it's like the man in the metal mask. It would be kind of scary.
That's amazing, man.
That's one item. Thanks. I got another one here. This is
cool.
So I've done all the red carpets for the premieres of the sequel films. So when I finish and they're throwing everything away, I go get sections of the red carpet. So I have Last Jedi. I mean, this is Force Awakens.
That's amazing.
Last Jedi was white, and Rise was blue.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
I have my own, you know, eventually my own red carpet. This is a picture of me and President Obama. When he and Michelle contacted Lucasfilm and wanted to bring characters to Halloween in 2009 at the White House to greet military families and pass out candy and stuff. And so when, you know, I got to meet the president, and that was pretty cool. He was like, when he saw us, he said, you know, it's me and a couple of stormtroopers in the elevator, and he goes, "Whoa, can I get on with you?" And yeah, well, of course. You are the administrator of this facility, are you not? And anyway, so he came on, and then we went and took this photo, and he said, "C-3PO, can you take a photo with me?" oh, wait, can you say something to Michelle for me? And I said, why, Mrs. Obama, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And then we all started laughing, and that's when we took that photo. But anyway, that's it. This is also the head that was on the Oscars a couple of years ago. So like I said, it's the TV head,
amazing.
and pretty clean and shiny. Yeah.
And also, okay, so we're all in self-isolation right now, and I know people aren't, eating the best, and they're snacking a lot. Like, is it stressful for you knowing that you got to eventually fit back in that suit when this is all said and done? You got you got to be careful, man. You can't eat too many Oreo cookies, or else we're gonna have a problem.
If you've ever done a magic trick. There are secrets, but no, I do try and watch my weight, and and there's also other things that help you fit into things, but the ladies may know better maybe than you, but no, for the most part, I really try to watch what I'm eating, and
well, I know last time I ran into Anthony, we were out in LA at the press day for Rise of Skywalker, and he was at the gym every morning. I guess it goes with the job. You got to stay, droid ready at all times.
Yeah, it's that whole, you hope for the opportunity and you're just prepared so that whenever the opportunity comes, you're ready. That's whether you're doing acting, training, or voice training, or body training. You just want to be prepared for when it does happen, and eventually it will.
Well, Chris, thank you so much, man. Everyone in the comments here, this has been an amazing live. I've learned so much. Thank you so much. Star Wars films are legendary. You do some amazing work, and it's really cool, as I said, to know that you come from this background, and now it's the ultimate fanboy experience. It couldn't be better, and I'm so happy for you, man. And thank you for sharing your stories with us.
Thanks, Tanner. That was my pleasure. I've been a fan since I was 7 years old. When I saw A New Hope in the theater, and my whole life has been I've been a Star Wars fan, and so I'm really happy to be part of such an awesome show with such incredible performers on The Mandalorian. So I hope you'll get a chance to talk to them too.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if anyone, follow Chris on all his platforms, as well as if you haven't binged Mandalorian lately, go back, and we look forward to seeing what's next, man.
All right, thanks. Well, keep watching Disney Gallery, The Making of Mandalorian. You'll see more there. And also stay tuned in the fall if you'd like to see more of, of my work. Yeah. And happy Mother's Day.
Yes, that's right. Thanks so much, buddy. Take care. Stay safe.
All right, you too.
See you later.